Nanner man! He's got his first hogfish.
It's little, but it's the first one ever.
Hey, man. I might have to switch the shrimp.
I get to count it.
Could this be Dan's first hog? And I think it is.
Come on, Dan.
Yes, it is. And it's a keeper. Look at that. Don't be breaking stuff, Dan.
I'm so excited. It's the first hog.
You didn't even catch him in the mouth.
Yeah, he did, sort of.
Caught him on the neon orange huggy jig. Watch that hook. Oh, Nanner man's on. Uh-oh, I know what he's got. Yep, another hoggy. Nice one. There you go, Brian.
I'm learning. It's only taken 2 years. I'm learning.
Now Jiggy's the only one on the boat that hasn't caught a fish because he's so stubborn with his cut bait. Don't let him jump out. He's a keeper. I say it's another one. Last one I thought it was, and it was there. Uh-oh. Yep, it is one. It's Hogomania. Should have probably got 30 of them. Don't think he's gonna make it. Well, as you can see, today I got a bunch of hooligans on the boat. We've got our buddy Dan, who also supplies my lead for me so we can build the wonderful jigs and get him rich. Hog.
Yep.
So we've got Rich, we've got Nanner man, and we've got Jiggy. And Chad's not on the boat today, and Chad's missing the best hog day we've had. He's up in St. Augustine watching some concert or something. But anyway, we are on a ledge in 53 feet of water, and it is absolutely just slap loaded with hogfish. You're welcome.
Watching Dan.
Another hog. Dan, you just don't like to hook him in the mouth.
I'm trying to save my bait.
There it is. Nanner man is on fire.
Oh, it's the morning.
It's the morning.
Nice one. Come 1 o'clock, I put this wrap.
Yeah. Man has never caught a hogfish in his life, and now he's on fire.
Glad Chad's not here.
Jiggy's on. But I'm doing it because I want a gag. What are you doing, Nanner man?
I gotta eat.
Holy criminy. The bite is on fire. No, we're not even in a salooner. No.
They worked on people.
See, I gotta eat before the salooner.
Jeez, oh Pete. Folks, the bite is on fire. We've probably caught 20 plus hogfish just in one spot.
So I'm tired, I gotta eat.
Unbelievable. I was just talking to Dan and I was telling him that one of the key things that I kind of do when I'm fishing for hogfish is I'll let that, you have to get that bait on the bottom and let it sit on the bottom. And what they'll do is they'll come up and they'll start grabbing it. And you'll feel the tap. Sometimes you won't feel them, but a lot of times you'll just feel a tap and a tap, and then you'll feel what I'll do is I'll pull up on my rod tip. See, there's taps right there. Then I'll pull up on my rod tip really quick just to see if I feel any weight. If I feel weight, I set the hook. If I don't, then I let them continue to tap it. Like right now, he's tapping it again. So I'll just be patient. Sometimes you'll lose your bait. Like I lost my bait, I think. But that's what you want to do. I'll hopefully be able to demonstrate it here in just a minute. Hello. 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 Hello.
That's how not to do it.
Yeah, that's how not to do it. But you want to make sure that you're on the bottom. You don't want to pull it off the bottom. Like right now he's tapping it. Pull up. I don't know if you saw that, but I don't think this is a hogfish, but it doesn't really matter what kind of fish. If you feel that pull, well, it's another strawberry. But if you feel that pull down, that's when you want to get the hook into him. Little strawberry. You get good little fillets off them though, I can tell you that.
And that's the tip of the day. Gonna hog or grunt?
And that's one thing that you're gonna go through. You're gonna go through a lot of grunts when you're hog fishing. It's just the nature of the beast. It is what it is. But I can tell you right now that if you're catching grunts, if you're catching strawberry grouper, you're definitely in the right area for hogfish.
You gonna bring it up, or are you gonna just
Yeah.
sit there with it?
No, triggerfish. Big old triggerfish.
That's not the targeted species, Jiggy.
Come on, Jiggy.
What is this guy?
It's called a porkfish.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's a first for me.
The only way you can keep them is if you keep them alive, because they're an aquarium fish.
Oh, really?
You can't keep them to eat them.
He's definitely pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty fish. Really? Oh, nice. That's what we're looking for. Doubled up gags. That could probably keep close in reds. Jiggy's on in the background. Jiggy's catching a bunch of dinkies now. Come on, Jiggy. That's just embarrassing. If you use real bait, you catch real fish. Well, folks, as I talked about in this video, we were talking about how we like to keep that bait right on the bottom when we are hog fishing. And a lot of times we are using our huggy jigs. And then, of course, if the tide's moving pretty decently, we'll use our ball jigs up to 4 ounces depending on the depth. But the way the huggy jig sits on the bottom, I think that it kind of entices those hogfish to come up and grab that bait, simply because of the way it sits on that bottom, and it has that bait fish is kind of up off the bottom a little bit. And so the huggy jig has been a very good jig for us to use to catch hogfish. Now, color, typically back in the day, it was mainly pinks and the candy apple pink, and Chad has been using, and we have been using here lately, a lot of the gold digger, what we call the gold digger, which we don't have available to buy. But if there's enough interest out there, we may go ahead and release that color, simply because it's actually done very, very well on the hogfish. I don't know what it is, but that color has really been producing quite well. Now, we were catching fish on the neon orange, we were catching fish on the gold diggers, we were catching them on just regular, I think, orange. So we caught fish on every color, but the gold digger seems to be out producing more than anything. But anyway, the main thing that you want to do is make sure you don't take that rod tip and go up and down, up and down, up and down. You want to make sure that that line is almost slack on the bottom. So when a lot of times I'll watch people and I'll see that they're keeping their line a little bit slack on the bottom, and I'll tell them, I said, you watch, you're going to catch a hogfish. And sure enough, they do, because those hogfish love that bait right on the bottom. So if you're going to go out and target hogfish, make sure that that's how you're presenting the bait. They don't like it off the bottom, they like it right on the bottom. So that's the tip for today. Let's go ahead and get into the logbook for this trip, and then we'll end up the trip and show you what we caught. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get into the logbook for this trip. It was an unbelievable trip when it comes to catching hogfish. I've never caught that many hogfish in one spot and caught that many keepers in one spot. But we probably caught a total over 40 and 12 keepers, and it was an unbelievable area. It was a new area for me. It was in 53 feet of water, and it was just pure fire. But the funny part is that we were not in a minor or major feeding time. The minor feeding time was not till later, which was 12:26 to 1:26. But as that tide stopped, which was an outgoing tide until about 12:11 p.m., when that tide stopped and kind of went flat, that's when everything shut off, and we struggled to find fish after that. We lost a couple of big grouper, caught one that was right at keeper, but we went ahead and threw him back. Caught a ton of red grouper as usual. But the bite didn't coincide with the minor or major. So this is the second logbook that I've done where those two things didn't correlate. And so it's funny, out of all the ones that we've done so far, there's only been 2 videos that it hasn't been spot on with the minor or major. And again, when I talk about that, it's not 100% accurate. Nothing is. But more times than not, it is pretty close or dead on. As you could see, we had clear skies. The barometric pressure was actually rising through the morning, and then it stabled out about midday, so that may have had something to do with it too. You want a rising barometer or a falling barometer. You want it moving, you don't want it steady. So once it got steady, as you can see later in the morning, that's when the bite kind of started to shut down a little bit. The water temperature was 81 degrees, and it was a little rough, it was a little windy, but then it calmed down again in the afternoon, so it made it a pleasant ride back in. And like I said, the bite was really good in the morning, and then it just kind of shut off in the afternoon. So it happens out there. But keeping these logs like this are really going to help me go back and figure out what happened, when was the best time, what were the conditions like, and having an understanding of what we were fishing and what the minors and majors were, what the tide was doing, what the barometric pressure was doing. So I'm really enjoying keeping these logs. So hopefully you guys like them. Please let me know in the comment section if you're enjoying these logs for these videos. And also, if you have any suggestions, please let us know. I'm always looking for different content. We're going to do some different things with some trips that we've got coming up in the next couple of days. I'm going to get more educational. It's hard sometimes when it's rough and the boat is going all over the place, and the wind, and trying to get good audio and things like that. Sometimes it can be very difficult. So sometimes that's why some of these videos are a little shorter than others. But anyway, I hoped you learned quite a bit with this one, talking about how we go about fishing for hogfish, what the techniques are, and what works very well for us. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the end of this video. You guys see how many hogfish that we ended up catching and bringing back with us. And the hogfish bite should just get better and better and better. And same with the gag bite. It should just get better and better and better. The snapper, the mangrove snapper, we haven't been catching a lot of those lately, but I think their diet is starting to change. So be on the lookout for that. So let's go ahead and get to the end of this video. All right, folks, we had a great day on the water. Caught a ton of most hogfish I've ever caught before, and you can see the ones that were keepers all along here.
We have bacon.
It was just one of those days that everything worked out well. The guys on the boat had a great time. I think everybody have a good time.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaning on these fish, but I just want to say thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Hope you learned something new about hogfish. And just wait, I've got a couple more videos coming up. So thank you again for watching. Thank you for all the support. If you're looking for jigs, things like that, you can go to some of our distributors: Palmetto Bait and Tackle, Reef and Reel, Little Manatee River Bait and Tackle, and Southeastern, or you can order online or come to our location and get it. So thank you again. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.